This is Michael Blackstone with Lee Talk Radio. Today we're going to be talking about the number one addiction to all U.S. citizens, and that's oil and gasoline. And primarily talking about it here in Lee County. Man, I don't know about you, but if you travel throughout the county and you're purchasing gasoline, how come you go from one store and it's one price to another store it's another price, and then they've got various rewards programs that fluctuate price on gas. It's just one big spin, and do you really know what you're getting and how your money's being spent? You know, we use petroleum products to propel vehicles, heat buildings, produce electricity. The petrochemical industry uses petroleum as raw materials to make products like plastics, polyurethane, solvent, and just hundreds of other end user products that we use day to day in our daily Lee County lives. I was looking at prices in the gas stations in Jonesville. $3.09 a gallon. And this show is on the January 18th, so it's $3.09 a gallon. And then I come into Pennington, and there's another station that's $3.09 a gallon. And then there's one that's $2.99 a gallon. And as I pulled in there, they were changing their price to $3.05 a gallon. So, what causes these fluctuations? Are we being ripped off? Are we being gouged? Are these gas stations and convenience stores throughout Lee County just taking advantage of us? So I did a little investigating on some of the stuff that goes on in and around the gas, and without getting too crazy, knowing that my genes go on the same direction your genes go on, and we're all the same, I'm just gonna break this down in kind of simple the way I understand it, and look at this stuff, because it came a little clearer and a little bit more easier to swallow than how I was thinking before. So a couple things we need to talk about, and that is that gas and oil is a commodity. It's traded. It's traded through crude oil. It's traded through the global community as a commodity, and prices are going up and down daily. So it's like the stock market. I mean, they're doing all kinds of financial projections and stuff like that in commodity trading. So they can't raise the prices up and down based on those things on a daily basis, because it would be a logistics nightmare. So that's one of the things. Now, here in Virginia, of course, there's been President Biden has made comments that he's promising to lower gas taxes and various different things. It's going to bring the price down. Whether that's actually going to happen, that will remain to be seen. That's all political. Our governor, new governor in Virginia, made claims and statements on the actual campaign trail that he was going to reduce the gas tax and actually suspend it for a year. He was proposing, while it gave Virginians a chance to get back on their feet from COVID and stuff like that. So, I mean, this all has to go through legislative processes and things like that before it actually will, take a hit on the street and give us any kind of relief at the pump. So we'll see how that goes. In the action, and that's nothing. He says it's a day one on his day one agenda. We will see if this actually transpires into him getting something done on that day one game plan to restore cost of living to Virginians in a good way. So my fingers are crossed, just as everybody else should be, that does happen. the gas prices and stuff in Lee County. So I'm going to go back to December 1st of 2021. Now, prior to that, prior to President Biden winning the election and coming into office, in Trump's era, there was very little price fluctuations on gasoline for a good long time. And so we all enjoyed some of the lowest prices I'd seen in years at the pump. Then things started changing, and obviously that always does when a new administration comes in. And so prices went up, down, up, down, up, down. So let's come to December 1st. Now, my information comes from two oil companies that basically service the majority of our convenience stores and gas stations in Lee County. And these are Lee County numbers. They're not outside the county. Realize that these companies also service, Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia areas as well in their business. So one of the companies is Lee Oil Company, and they are based out of Middlesboro, Kentucky. The other one is Riggs Oil, which is based out of Big Stone Gap, Virginia. So on December 1st, both Lee Oil and Riggs Oil were pricing gas at $3.09 a gallon. And then on the 6th, they dropped the price to $3.05 a gallon. On the 8th, Riggs Oil brought their price down to $2.99 a gallon. On the 10th, Lee Oil followed and dropped its price to $2.99. Then on the 15th, Riggs Oil brought it to $2.95 a gallon. On the 16th, Lee Oil brings it to $2.95 a gallon. And then it stayed at $2.95 a gallon from the 16th all the way through to the 8th of January. On the 8th of January, price increased by Riggs Oil to $2.99, and on January 10th, Lee Oil followed with a $2.99 increase. Then the 17th of the month, which was just yesterday, it went to $3.09 a gallon. Now, you're going to see that price pretty much standard throughout all of these stations, gas stations in Lee County, except one. And that one is the Food City gas in Pennington. Now, up to till this morning, their price was at $2.99 a gallon. So a person on the road out there is going to, let's say you go from Jonesville to Pennington, and you see that the Jonesville stations are at $3.09 a gallon, and then the Pennington Food City gas is at $2.99 a gallon. It kind of makes you think, why is it a dime higher in Jonesville versus Pennington? But then again, on the other end of Pennington, you have a gas station that is also at $3.09 a gallon. So it's just this one lonely gas station. And because it's got Food City's brand on it, it makes us look, all of us look at it like, who's screwing who over? Who's getting took in this deal? And why is it costing so much? I mean, when you go to fill up a tank of gas, there's a significant difference in the amount of gas you get at $3.09 a gallon versus $2.99 or $2.95. I mean, it does matter. So, people are concerned about this. It's really blistering our wallets. And why the up and down elevator ride on pricing? So, in talking to the folks at Lee Oil and Riggs Oil, they run convenience stores and gas stations. Anybody that's in and around marketing or understands marketing knows that the price of gas at a convenience store is generally pretty tight. There's not much profit margins in gas. Convenience stores don't make their money off of gas sales. Gasoline is what they advertise to bring you into the store to buy your gas, and while you're there, which is why they call them convenience stores, it's convenient for you to buy other items, potato chips, food items, soda pop, beer, alcohol, tobacco products, anything that is sold inside a convenience store, which makes it a quick buy and get your gas and get on down the road. That is where they make their money, is in the markup of those convenience store items inside the store. You may have a deli inside the store, or a restaurant inside the store. The one station in Jonesville has a couple of them have delis, and then one actually has a Subway franchise store in it. So there's all kinds of ways where the actual convenience store is making additional money, and it's not on the gasoline. So then let's look at that in comparison to Food City and Food City's gas pumps. Now, Food City in Pennington, their station is separated. Most of the other Food Cities in and around the area, which they're all over Tennessee and Southwest Virginia and so on, most of them have their gas pumps out in their parking lot. Like the one in Big Stone Gap, out in front of the store is their gas facility. Here in Pennington Gap, it's different. It's down the street. But how do they go 5 cents a gallon cheaper than anybody else? Well, first of all, they are going to sell to you straight across the board at that price. So if you're just going to buy gas, they're taking it as a loss leader, that most people are going to go in there and use a value card, the Food City value card. Now, that Food City value card, it's interesting how these things work, because the other gas station convenience stores, they also have value-related programs. Now, their programs are so a certain percentage off, or whatever their special are, is on items bought in the store and on gas. It's basically on everything, and that is a direct discount. So when we look at Food City's value card will give you every day, if you have a gas visit, it'll give you an everyday value of 15 cents with a gas visit off per gallon. Not bad. Now, that is up to 20 gallons of gas purchased. Okay. Now, on Wednesday, they have a deal with 2 gas visits. Your card will give you a special of up to 30 cents off per gallon, up to 20 gallons. So Wednesday is a double dip day. So that's a considerable savings off of gasoline. You add to the point that they're already at 5 cents lower. Then you put on the if you have a gas visit on your value card, that you can get another 15 cent per gallon discount. That's seems like a pretty good deal. However, how that gas and those gas visits work is you've got to go to the store and you've got to buy your grocery type of products. And those grocery products are anything that is sold in the grocery store. And that adds up to give you so many points that gives you a gas visit, okay? Now, you're not going to get a value card discount at the pump unless you have purchased groceries and raised up your points to get that gas visit. How much is that exactly? I don't know the dollar amount on that, but I do know that what you're purchasing in the store goes along with everything else in every other grocery store across the country that has had to raise their prices dramatically. Reports are saying that grocery prices across the board in 2022 are raising anywhere from 2% to 20%. And a lot of that has to do with what item you're buying. But anybody that's grocery shopped recently, can go in and just look at the price of meat, look at the price of paper towels and toilet paper. Half the time they're significantly low on stock, and the prices have gone literally through the roof, where you really have to watch what you're buying and so on. Now, you're going to get a little bit of a discount off that value card. You're going to get your points raised, and you're going to get those gas visits. But how much of that gas visit and that money that they're giving off at the gas pump really is being washed out by the increase of price on the grocery side of things? So you're paying more for groceries, but you're able to get a value discount on the gasoline. If you take on the best gas visit day, 2 gas visits on Wednesday gets you 30 cents a gallon up to 20 gallons. 30 cents times 20 gallons is only $6. If you go to the grocery store, even with that value card, and you buy meat or you buy anything, I'm telling you, you're probably going to eat that $6 in savings. You're going to eat it alive by just the cost factors of what you're purchasing. So they're kind of in that reward program, and I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's not saving you money. I'm saying you need to have your eyes wide open when you are at the gas pump saying, why is this $3.05 a gallon and everybody else is at $3.09 a gallon or 5 to 10 cents higher? Understand, you're paying for it one way or the other. You're either paying it on the grocery side or you're paying for it on the gasoline side. So the overall review of gasoline prices, the prices at the pump in Lee County, Virginia, and these intertwined rewards programs that are being offered is that these companies have done a pretty good job at keeping our prices as low as they possibly can. We are a lot lower than other areas in the nation. Thank God for that. And hopefully they will continue to do, good jobs. I don't find anything particularly peculiar about these operations and these pricings. There's no sign of any kind of gouging or that mindset. But you do have to understand the rewards programs versus the actual price you're seeing. So, still straight across the board, no rewards programs going on. Your best prices in Lee County right now is going to be at the Food City gas station at $3.05 a gallon. Everybody else is going to be about 4 cents higher. But they also do have rewards programs that can reduce that. So playing field is pretty even out there. I hope this explanation helps you. I took a lot of phone calls, a lot of people that I talked to get these prices. Obviously, some were resistive because they don't want to have you start gouging for gas prices, and man, people really get excited about that, justifiably so. But I hope this helps you and helps you make your selection in Lee County. I would continue doing business with every gas station and your favorite convenience store. Like always, you're going to be pretty much straight across the board at the same pricing overall. This has been Michael Blackstone, Lee Talk Radio, and the gas prices in Lee County, Virginia.